Hello everyone, so in this video today I am going through all the books I've read in June and July. But to start off with, so I think I read about 5.5 books in June and then the rest are for July. And there's a book I'm reading right now that I'm almost finished, but that'll be pushed into August. So to start off with, I'm reading The Lord of the Flies, a graphic novel. This was actually amazing to read. I got given it by my partner's sister, and honestly, I loved it. I basically read it in like 2 days. It was just stunning seeing the pictures and the graphics, and just like honestly, I just loved it. Like, I love these types of books. I love the Heartstopper series because of it too, and just the art style, and just I don't know. I just love kind of graphic novels and everything, but I don't really read them that often. But honestly, it makes me want to read the original book just to kind of, I guess compare, but just to see the original story basically. So I will be keen. I might try and find it if I can, but honestly, I would recommend this if you find it anywhere. It was amazing. Then next, I read Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I got taken out of this one a little bit, probably, I want to say halfway through, but I think it might have been just a little bit beforehand. But it was only for maybe like 50 to 100 pages, like not even. I really didn't get taken out of it for that long, and it just sucked me right back in, and I was like, holy moly, what is happening? What is going on? The betrayal? What is happening? It was crazy. And honestly, like, I know why this series is so hyped up, is so good, and I'm up to the 4th book, I think. Yeah, that's where I'm up to. I haven't started it yet, but I'm so keen to just see where it goes and how it's going to end and what characters we get introduced to and everything. And then I read The Assassin's Blade next, and I really liked this. I think the first short story was a little bit, it kind of pulled me out of it a little bit, and I was like, okay, is this kind of what it's going to be like? I just didn't enjoy it as much. But then all the other stories, like, oh my gosh, it got me. I bawled my eyes out reading this book in the end, and I'm glad I read it third because I could kind of connect to Selena a bit more in the first 2 books, and then this is kind of her backstory, so you already know what she's like, kind of already know what she's been through, and this is just a lot more detail about that, and I just connected to it a lot more, so I'm glad I read it third. But read it however you want to, honestly. I would recommend third, but yeah, honestly, so good. 10 out of 10. And then I read Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and this was recommended, I think a booktuber, Hayley Pham, recommended it ages ago when she was doing some 24-hour reading video, and I've been looking at it for basically as long as that video has been out, and I thought I would just get it. I think this was a little while ago that I got it, and I did like it. It was enemies to lovers. You got a bit of fantasy aspect in there too, but also a bit of politics. So it was good. I did like it. I feel like it was a bit slow, maybe. Like, I just wasn't as obsessed with it as I've heard other people be obsessed with it. But I did really, really, really enjoy it. And honestly, I kind of want to read it again just to like see. And also, I think he's got blonde hair. I kept picturing him with brown hair because I'm just so used to these male main characters having black hair, brown hair, dark features, and I was like, he's blonde. What? What is happening? It was good. I haven't read probably a blonde main character, a male main character, since the Shadow Me series. Maybe I think they've all had dark hair, so I was a bit shocked by that. And then I read Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, the second book in the Dance of Thieves duology, and I was a bit taken out of it in this one because I don't really want to give a spoiler, but a few things happen that kind of separate our main characters again, and it was just a little bit frustrating to read, but also good because you got a lot of closure, you got a little bit more backstory, you learnt a bit more about the family dynamic and more politics and more about Jace's past and Kazzie's past too. Like, you just get a bit more in the second book, which I did like, but yeah, I was kind of pulled out of it a little bit. because I did kind of want the main characters to have a bit more time together, but I understand why it happened and what happened, and you know, I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to spoil it, but I would recommend this book. I have heard you should read the Remnant Chronicles first. I really don't know. I haven't read them yet, so I really can't say if that's a good recommendation or not. I just go with what you think. I think I understood this duology perfectly clearly. Because there's books I've read where there's kind of a lot of backstory about people's past, but because there's no books about that either, you don't really get a lot. But also, it's included in so many books I read that I'm kind of actually just used to having flashbacks and seeing kind of bits of the past, but you don't get a lot of information, but it still adds to the story. So if that makes sense, yeah, I would recommend it. If you want to read the trilogy first, read the trilogy. I think characters come back to this one as well, so it all does connect a little bit, but really up to you at the end of the day. I just read them and I was perfectly fine. I wasn't really confused at all, so it was good because you still get that world building, you get that history, and you get kind of a bit from the past, like I said. So it does make it easy to read, but up to you, really, at the end of the day. And I think I started this next book in June, but I finished it in July, and that is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, the second book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I liked it. I think I did like it. It was a quick read. You kind of just seeing like a bit of a wedge between two characters that everyone really likes, and you're kind of getting a new character and a bit more backstory about the world, and you're learning a bit more about the amplifiers and everything that's kind of going on in this Grishaverse. So it is interesting. I did like it, and we're in a different setting as well, so that was good. And more fantasy, more monsters, more just everything, and things are kind of getting worse in this book, and I know for the next one, it's all leading up to the next one, so I would recommend it. I know it's kind of that book in the middle because she's got to now go kind of on another adventure in the third book to kind of finish everything off and find something specific that's going to help her. So yeah, it's getting interesting, and I do want to read the third one, and if I find it, I will pick it up. But yeah, pretty good book. I would recommend, honestly. I would recommend that series, and I've read Six of Crows and stuff like I've mentioned so many times, and I loved that series. Honestly, it was amazing. But yeah, it was good. I just recommend reading all of it, honestly. And then this is definitely in July now. We have Before the Coffee Gets Cold by that author that I don't know how to pronounce. So sorry to that author. But honestly, I really liked this. This book made me cry. It was quite deep. It was emotional. There was just like pain and some happy stories. You get some different family dynamics. You get husband and wife. You get sisters. You get people that want to know if they're going to meet again because the circumstances have kind of gotten in the way, and just a few short stories about different people, but everyone's kind of connected because they all go to this cafe as well, so they all know each other at the end anyway. But honestly, yeah, there was one story in particular that's really got to me because I have worked with people with this disease in real life, and it's very sad to see. And I think it just got to me because I've had personal experience with it. But yeah, no, it's just, I would totally recommend this book, even if you just read the first one. Would 100% recommend this. I think I gave this like 5 stars on Goodreads, or at least 4.5. But honestly, so good. I think Jack Edwards was going on about it in one of his videos, so I was like, I got to see this for myself. And then, and then it's just basically about going back into the past, and you have to kind of come back before your coffee gets cold, so you get to kind of see someone that has been to the cafe. There's all these rules and stuff I have to follow as well, so I did find that kind of interesting as well. And then next I read Watch Me by Tahira Murphy, which is James Anderson's story. I found this interesting. I read this like 3 days. This was good. I mean, his character, especially reading the whole Shadow Me series and then now seeing his character grown up and just the mischief he's causing and the trouble he's getting into, and meeting someone he's got his eye on. I'm kind of keen to see where this series is going, and I will be getting the next book when it comes out. But honestly, I did like it. I liked it a lot. It was so good to be back in that Shadow Me universe again, and you get to see a bit of Juliet and Warner and Adam and Kenji. I love Kenji. He's good. he's one of my favorite characters. But yes, honestly, that was such a good book. I did really like it. And then lastly on our list, I only just finished this a couple days ago, maybe like 4 days ago, and that is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Now, this took me over 2 weeks to read. It's thick. I don't know why it took me so long. I think just kind of life circumstances, getting busy, work, and the usual, right? But I really liked it. It was just so odd that it was taking me so long to read, but I was actually very invested and I wanted to keep reading all the time. I think I was also going through a bit of a reading slump at the time too, so I just was really pulled out of anything I was reading, but I was pushing myself to keep reading because honestly, this book was amazing. I still loved it. I loved it so much. I always give these books like 5 stars on Goodreads when I do rate them. But yeah, it was a very weird 2 weeks, but I'm glad I pushed through. I'm glad I finished it. I've got the next one on my TBR waiting to be read. But honestly, these books are just amazing. I love coming back into the world again, and I love the drawings on these covers. Oh, I just love them. I love it so much. Like, the inner artist in me just comes out and I'm like, I want to be able to do stuff like this. This would be amazing. But yeah, basically it's just about the Triwizard Tournament and Harry having to go through that, and a few other twists and turns happen. Someone comes back. Someone just that shouldn't be there. Basically, all these, just a lot of plot twists and stuff, and now we're really getting into like the meat of the story. So it should start to. It's not just about him going to Hogwarts anymore and learning magic and being a child and just I guess being in this magical world. It's now getting a lot more serious and something where everyone kind of has to be a lot more careful about what they do and say and who to trust, and just everything is just shifting now. So I'm keen for the next one, and the next one's like 800 pages. This one was like over 600 pages, and I'm like, bruh, I don't know what I'm doing to myself, but this was good. 100% would recommend the Harry Potter series to anyone of any age. Absolutely love it. Now for the final showing of all the books, if I can get it. I almost snapped my nail off. But yes, this is all the books that I've read in 2 months. So I'm still proud that I read this much, and I probably read about 4 books a month now. The last few years I probably have. That's like a rough average, but yeah, would recommend all these books. Absolutely loved them, and I will see you guys in my next video for whatever it is. It could be makeup, it could be art, it could be reading, anything, but see ya!